Well, welcome back to another wonderful Wednesday whiskey review brought to you by Derek. He's Derek. And Mike. I'm Mike of the Buffalo Happy Hour.
You boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour.
For those that don't know and that are new, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is not necessarily always satire, although we are certified bourbon stewards through the Stave and Thief Society at Moonshine University down in Kentucky.
What is going on with this?
We are not only
We're not certified microphone operators, I'll tell you that much right now.
We are not only fumbling with our equipment, but we are also going to taste two new products because two current products just got discontinued. So more to follow on that. However, first, we just wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Addie's. Addie's is a local family-owned and operated liquor store in Buffalo, specifically Williamsville, and they have an in-house wine sommelier who's very knowledgeable, as well as the rest of their entire staff. But most importantly, team, they have an app, which you can download on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. It's a white square, purple grapes, and you can check their inventory. And if you are in the state of New York, you can have items shipped to your door when you order products online. So we are going to be working with a new SKU for a very well-known and long-time operated Tennessee distillery. Lo and behold, it is Jack Daniels.
Mr. Jack.
So Jack Daniels for this one is going to be the bonded, because what they did is they discontinued the black and the green label, which we all grew up on.
Not the black. Just the green.
Just the green.
Yeah.
So they got rid of one.
Green and one other one, I think.
I thought it was black.
No, black is their staple, number 7.
What are you doing in here, little one? We got to fly, bro. Fly inside the studio, so that'll be
Because it's so
distracting
warm
me the
in
entire
here.
time. Correct.
When it's 24 degrees outside.
It is freezing.
But yeah, I don't think that they discontinued the black. I think it was just the green, and I think it was one other, like gold or something, because I've never seen the gold either. It was some random. Maybe it is black. I don't know. But yeah, this is replacing that, and so is the one that we're going to be reviewing in a couple weeks, the Triple Mash. So if you're excited for that, subscribe so you're notified the next time. But we interviewed a guy that works for Empire Merchants North, which is one of the biggest distribution companies in the area. I don't know how far their reach is, but definitely in the area. They're not countrywide, are they?
Large in the area.
Yeah.
His name is James, and if you
James.
want to watch that interview, which we did record at Addie's, feel free to head over to our YouTube channel and watch it, because he dived into these two products specifically.
Yeah, but what was interesting is that Jack, I didn't really know their mash bill because honestly, I never really got deep into Jack Daniels itself. But the mash bill is 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and 8% rye.
Yes.
Which to me is fascinating because in the whiskey world, you don't really see malted barley be higher than a flavoring grain in most situations, which to me, when I heard that, I was like, are you serious? I don't know if I've ever seen that before, bro. But I probably have. I just haven't paid attention, and this is just standing out for me. But what this is, it's that same mash bill. So most of their products have the same mash bill. Jack number 7, the black label, this one, bottled or the bonded one, and then also Gentleman Jack. They're all the same mash bill. Just aged differently and different times being in or going through the Lincoln County process. So this one right here is bonded, which means that it's bottled in bond. As we all know, it has to be 100 proof, has to be in a government-controlled warehouse for 4 years, and it has to be made from grains from one single harvesting season from one single distillery or something like that. So we're going to be trying this bad boy out today. We did have it during the interview with him, which was super fun. But we're going to do a little rate skis on our own. So, Michael, label Brandon, what you got?
Classic Jack Daniels on the label.
Classic.
I'm not mad about it. I do like the new bonded label.
Mm-hmm.
The bonded label to me is a little more fancy, and it's more bold.
Mm-hmm.
So for this, there's a few things. There's imprints all over the bottle, which are nice. Everything on the back is established 1866 and registered Jack Daniel Distillery in Tennessee, which is nice. The label's not overcomplicated.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a couple notes that you should be tasting. I don't know why.
We don't follow that.
We don't. We come up with our own.
Sure do.
And they use a cork.
Mhm.
So label branding for me, I'm at an A check.
Yeah, I'll agree with the A check. I
agree.
agree. What's cool about this product too, especially when you get to some of these specialty releases, from what we're kind of assuming is that Jack Daniels is going more towards a more expensive taste because people in our generation prefer quality over quantity. So they're transitioning more from like that $30 entry level kind of well product to something a little bit more established that probably shouldn't be have or enjoyed with a cocktail. But from what we know, this is a staple product going forward. This isn't a seasonal release. This is something that should be on the shelf for quite some time. So A check. Let's jump into the nose. We're going heavy pours today, friend. We'll talk about it in the weekly episode.
I'm intrigued. That's all I'll say to that. Knows I'm getting some baking spice. Not a lot, but there's some pepper still in here. I pick up the malted barley.
Yeah, you pick up the malted barley, but this is very, very heavy on the honey, caramel, and kind of like a candied maple or something like that, or like a piece of bacon that was candied. Like if you go to 189 and you have their candied bacon, that's kind of what this smells like a little bit.
The maple aspect is strong with this one. It's a nice nose. It's pleasant. It's not ethanol heavy, which is nice. For 100 proof, you would kind of expect more of the ethanol, so I'm glad that it's kind of balanced in that way. To me, I'm going B plus minus.
Yeah, I'll go B plus mine. I
agree.
Yeah, I think that it's pretty pleasant on the nose. It does scream traditional, but it adds that layer of maple and like molasses sugar note to it that kind of gets you excited for that sip.
Yes.
The sip.
So the initial taste. It's got like Mexican jumpy beans happening on your palate.
Yeah, that is true.
It makes everything tingle.
Sometimes I associate that with something that hasn't been aged very long because the wood hasn't had time to kind of round it. And this is at least for 4 years. Jack Daniels doesn't really tell you how long things are aged because they're just like, we don't care. So we know that at least has to be 4 years. But yeah, it is a little bit more like spiky, I feel. I was thinking this was probably more 6, 7, but this probably is like 4, 5 now.
For the aging?
The age statement, yeah. Because it's not as like buttery as I thought.
There's a lot of maple in here.
Yeah.
Which obviously makes sense. It's not necessarily a cop-out, but it's prominent. It's peppery.
Yeah, and it tastes very thick.
It does. Almost like a...
like a syrup.
Yes. I wouldn't say molasses. It's not that intense, but it's very syrupy.
Yeah.
In its consistency. It's oily, but it's not insane. There's still some baking spice. You get a little bit of honey on the front. Not a lot. It's a very high hug as well.
Yeah.
But it does warm your chest. But the hug itself is very high, and then it just soothes you and warms you up as you enjoy it. Mm-hmm. This is a really good sipper.
Yeah, I'll go B plus for the initial taste.
I agree.
Ending note, I'm getting heavy room temperature Dr. Pepper because I'm getting it's so thick with that syrup taste, and it's spiky, which I'm associating with like carbonation. It's not carbonated, obviously, but that's kind of that same sensation that my mouth is feeling, and then it's going down with like this. Like not molasses, but like a candied sugar, maple, cherry note to it. So I'm kind of getting like some sort of flat room temperature Dr. Pepper vibes from this.
The fruit note is very prominent on the end.
Yeah.
And the candied wood sugar is also heavy on the ending note. The initial taste is more traditional with caramel and honey. And then the ending note is what adds that element of sugar.
Yeah.
And then it's syrupy, not in a bad way, from start to finish. Mm-hmm. The oils coat your palate. Mm-hmm.
Can you name it the Dapper Do?
It's honestly really well made. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Especially for 100 proof. Any note for me, I'm going A.
Yeah, me too.
A. I agree.
Yeah, it just made it spicier.
Okay.
That rye comes out at the end with the water. It kind of cuts it a little bit. It's not as syrupy when you add the water in, which makes sense. But, yeah, I think A is good. I agree.
Final rating. Derek, give me that countdown for Jack Daniels Bonded.
All right. 3, 2, 1. 91.
87, 91. 89.
There you go. New segment going forward right here. Ready? Would you buy? The price point is around 50, I think you said. So I think people come here to not only hear the taste of it, but to hear if from our experience and the 150 that we've reviewed, is this worth the buy at $50?
I think it is. I think it's worth the buy at $50 for a 100 proof new Jack Daniels Bonded Spirit, which may or may not be on back order based on your area. I think it's worth it. I would invest the $50 to have it, try it, and then keep it around, let other people try it, and then add it to your collection. For sure, it's a good everyday sipper. It's not necessarily one for a special occasion, right? Like a Pappy or a Weller. I think that this is a good option to have in your collection for whatever day.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's really difficult to find a bottled in bond product for around $50. And mostly when you do, they don't taste very good. This does have some very typical notes, but it's very full. It's very rich. It's a really rich whiskey, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I completely agree. I would definitely go buy this if I were you. But like Mike said, good luck trying to find it because it is kind of allocated, quote. But yeah, so good luck trying to find it. But if you do find it, we do always recommend drink responsibly, be a good person. And Michael,
Find it at Addie's and don't litter.
we're out.